I became a millionaire at 27, and it all happened when I learned this secret. This is a secret all successful entrepreneurs know about, but rarely share it. And today, I'm gonna break it down and show you exactly how you can apply it in your own life and business to create the life you've always dreamed. What's the secret? Spirituality, but not at all in the way that you think.
What's up? Coaching is really cool. It's a really badass business model that's super easy to run. I just get on a call and I just tell them what I would do and I coach them through for just a day, and then I do group coaching calls. And you can charge a crazy amount for it. It's literally all profit. It just comes through your Instagram. I saw Wes Watson. I was checking Watson's stories because I'm always following what kind of stories he's posting. And he's like, "Oh, I'm doing a Black Friday sale, discount on the yearly package." I was like, you know, I'm going to do that same thing. Ran that shit. Boom, 6 figures in the bank in just a single day. Yeah, I didn't even do it correctly. He did it 4 days in a row. I just thought it was for Black Friday. So I just did it for Friday. So I stop it and then I see him keep going. I'm like, damn, I didn't even think about it. It's like a 4-day thing, not like a 2-day thing. Anyway, it was still great though. So look, we got unicorns in the mail right now. This is a unicorn piñata because we're building unicorns. So when our company becomes a unicorn, we're going to beat the shit out of this thing. Put a bunch of money inside of it. I also got this unicorn stuffed animal because, I don't know, his name's Jetty, right? So I was thinking about just putting him on the back of the jet. He's pretty cool. We also got this Goku action figure. I had a call with my manifestation coach. We're talking about what's best case scenario with this whole thing. And the best case scenario is the brand does $100 million a year. And she's like, something feels kind of off within you, like $100 million a year. I'm like, she always fucking catches that. That's the thing with manifestation coach. They catch your internal alignment towards your goals. She's like, something feels weird. So we had to do some visualization stuff. And $100 million, for some reason, my subconscious thought it was too big to be doing a year, right? $1 billion is fine, but that's kind of woo-woo land. That's pretty far from my current experience. Versus $100 million isn't very far because I've done $40 million twice. It's just oh, $40 million, I was like, what does that look like? It's like, oh, that looks like me. I'm the $40 million guy. That's what I've done twice. $100 million, what's wrong with that? Well, it just doesn't fit. That was literally the answer my subconscious said. It doesn't fit in me. It's too big. It's this big, golden, big-ass number. And she's like, oh, okay, that's the thing. So the problem was I had subconsciously been identifying as somebody who is the $40 million guy when the $100 million goal is too big, right? And that's much more real to me than the billionaire one. I could visualize myself doing that really easy because I have no reference. It's kind of like La La Land, right? It's kind of like saying, oh, we want to get to 6 figures a year, or even 6 figures a month, but you got to get to $3,000 a day in profit. That's much more realistic of a number because you actually know how hard it is to do that today. I had to start doing affirmations and visualizing myself as this higher kind of entrepreneur. And through that, I got this kind of vision of much more like Goku going Super Saiyan level 2 vibes, right? That's what it was. So I was like, fuck it, let's get one of these things and put it on the board, right? So this is just a reminder to do I'm a $100 million entrepreneur affirmations. So literally last night in the chair, I was doing meditating, and I just had to sit there for 10 minutes and just go, I'm doing $100 million. I'm so happy that I'm doing $100 million a year. I'm doing $8 million a month. We do $300,000 a day, easily and consistently, smooth like butter. So I was thinking this guy would be better at sitting on the jet, but I guess they might just have to fucking hang out or some shit. Look at the wall of vision boards, bro. Are you kidding me? Huge wall of vision boards. Anything you put on the vision board comes true. It's you just gotta admit it. At some point you just have to admit it. Anything you put on the vision board comes true. It's just this weird rule of the universe. Bing, bada, boom. This one was created by going through Marissa Peer's Uncompromised Life program on Mindvalley. She's got this cool quote, the most important thing to understand is that your mind does what it thinks it wants you to do. Your subconscious mind is just constantly feeding you all the shit that it thinks that you want. So part of fixing your life is reprogramming your subconscious mind and getting your mind aligned with the things that it wants you to do. The supercars, it says, I've chosen to feel great about it, right? I decide to feel great about these things. I literally had a phone call with my friend yesterday talking about Wes Watson, and he's this not very successful entrepreneur coaching guy, and he's like, yeah, I don't really vibe with Wes Watson. Like, you don't need to show me your Lambos all the time. I'm like, bro, that Lambo represents 1,000 souls saved. If you're selling life-changing products, like, we don't get trophies, right? Those are our trophies, right? And if you're selling life-changing stuff, every dollar is a life change, so all these supercars is just a reflection of how much dope shit you've added to the world, value added to the world, right? Don't hate it. Don't hate it. You got to choose to feel great about it, right? I hate a lot of negative things to these other things. And the thing about, this is another big one, there's nowhere else I'd rather be. That was the affirmation for Rippin' and Lambos at the place. I just wanted to align my subconscious with like, oh yeah, nowhere else I'd rather be. This is a dope kind of place you want to be. This one's really special, right? Peter is easily making $170 million. This was a big deal because when I was in my parents' basement, I kind of had this epiphany in this big moment where I was like, you know what, if I keep, I'm reading every day, I'm studying every day, I'm starting businesses, if I'm not going to give up, I know I'm not going to stop doing this, right? Like, how much do I think I'm actually going to make? Oh, well, I think I'm going to make probably $20 million in my career. I think I could probably just estimate that out. And then I was like, all right, let's just back it down to be more realistic. We'll call it 17 million. And that was just kind of my number, right? And then many years later, a friend got me this sign for my birthday. It wasn't this sign, it was another sign, but it said, Pete is easily making millions of dollars. I was like, okay, cool. Like, that's pretty great, but let's be specific. So I wrote 17 right there next to it. Pete is easily making 17 millions of dollars. And I would hang that up in my house. Then one day, one of my fucking friends came over to my house a few years after that and just it's like, what the fuck is this $17 million? So he wrote a zero at the end of it. And I was like, dude, what the hell? Like, fuck you, right? Don't put these stupid goals that I can never achieve in front of my face like that. That's like torture, you know what I mean? Like, don't do it like that. But he wrote it in Sharpie, so it was on my wall. And then another year goes by, and I'm just like kind of like resenting this picture now because I liked it, but I didn't know how it was possible. I thought that number was kind of too big to even think about. And then one day it hits me, right? This is how you do it. This is just, it's called a brand of portfolios. You get 4 brands that are doing $40 million a year. You build a brand, you put an operator in it, done. You build a brand, you put an operator, build a brand, you have one big parent company that holds them all. That's called a big brand portfolio. Very commonly get bought out by private equity companies for 9 figures, right? The whole exit thing and getting acquired and getting exit stuff, that's like a very common thing that a lot of people do, right? A lot of businesses like to buy successful businesses. It is not this rare, mystical unicorn thing that only happens to special people. It's really not. It is like a very common thing that happens to businesses that are successful, especially if you're trying to do it, especially if you're manifesting it. So it's not weird. There's a huge market for people who just go out and buy dope businesses. And yeah, exiting is a very possible thing that is not like, that is like to be planned for. Like, just, you want to think about end of mine equity kind of deals at the end of the day. In fact, I had another conversation when I was doing this coaching shit with some of these people. One of my buddies hit me up, like, yo, Peter, I saw you doing coaching. This guy is this uber successful dude, right? Been around for 15 years, uber successful. He's like, man, I just sold 3 brands this year. He's got like 300 fucking employees, massive company. But he's like, you know what? My life is a pain in the ass. I've got kids now. I'm burnt out. Things are tough. Things are hard. I need some help, like some mental things, whatever. Can we meet up and hang out, or I get a coffee or something like that? It's a hugely successful guy. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And I'm getting this idea. I'm like, yeah, you're like I understand your situation. Like, your problem is like you can't work, or you can't stop working. That's like your issue. It's like, no, I can stop working. I'm super successful. I just can't stop working because I haven't hit my goals. Like, yeah, that's the problem, bro. That's the problem. The biggest mistake you can make is ending up basically 45 years old with all your kids with a big ass business and you haven't hit your goals yet. Right? That's one of the biggest mistakes. And that's the mistake that he's making. He's selling all these brands. He's going after these plays, but he's doing all this without being super clear on his end goal, which is to achieve his fucking goals, right? He's selling brands that don't make his goals come true, which is what a lot of people do. I had another call with a guy yesterday who's just cranking out. He's a younger guy. He's like this guy 10 years prior. He's cranking out all of these businesses. He's launching 10 products a week with this massive operation he's put together with 50 people, drop shipping, 10 different products a week. He wanted to talk to me to ask, like, how do I transition these into building big brands? I'm like, you can do that, but you might be fucked, like my friend, who is building brands that don't have big exit opportunity, right? Because you could build a company that has a 1x multiple or a 10x multiple or a 20x multiple. At the end of the day, our jobs as advertisers, we have two things. There's two things that happen to us. There is finding a big ass campaign that prints a ton of money, right? That's like affiliate marketing. That's like the big kicking the whole thing off. And then it's how much do you make for doing that? Like, what is your reward for doing that? If you're an affiliate marketer, you have no reward, right? You just get it, the campaign dies, there's no back end. If you're a drop shipper, you have also no reward. You get all the client data, you get to build a little website, but nobody fucking likes you because you took 3 weeks to get to the product there and you probably had low shitty product anyway, so nobody ever wants to buy from you again. No reward, right? If you build an e-commerce brand that's very beautiful and nice, boom, you have a bunch of customers who like you and you have a value of business that people want to buy again. That's dope. That has a multiple of equity, whatever, like 3x revenue. I don't know what it is specifically, but it's there, right? If you build an agency, you get a bunch of clients who like you, but you have 1x multiple. Nobody, you don't really get much out of that. If you blow up an AI company, 20 fucking x multiple, right? Huge revenue. You create an addictive product that people want to keep using, become dependent upon, and huge 20x multiple. So like generating a business that does $40 million a year is not equal in all businesses, right? So you think about this ability, you're able to like blow up brands and blow up things that you own. You might as well blow up something that actually has huge exit value. That's what I told this other guy. So now he's thinking about maybe doing software instead of doing more e-com products or whatever. And that's what I'm talking about with this other guy, but the super successful guy is like, bro, we got to do plays that get your goals accomplished, right? If you're trying to accomplish your goals, let's accomplish your goals. Let's just not launch shit just for the sake of launching shit. So important lessons to be thinking about. Anyway, that's how this evolved into that. Building brand portfolios are pretty cool. But you know what? Lately, we've added another zero to that. And it was the same thing. That's too big, that's too big, that's it. And then you just kind of figure out, oh, that's actually not too big. You know what's really crazy? We're in a deal right now. We're in a situation right now that's pretty psycho. We're literally like one deal away. We're one deal away from having a company that's doing $100 million a year that's valued at multiple billions of dollars, which is crazy. One deal away. Just like super focused, super laser in. So you see that evolution of like the 17 was too big, and then this is too big, and then now we're here, and then now like the whole $1.7 billion thing is now potentially easy, right? Potentially really easy, right? We have the equity distributed to the right people. We just closed on a 7-figure domain name 2 days ago. Crazy. I can't give much information about it, but I got everything's under the NDA stuff, so I can tell you guys about it when we get about it. But right now, all sorts of crazy shit is happening. That's why we're filming in the morning. Bam, spirituality. Spirituality is one of the reasons why we're filming, actually. I didn't even realize I bought 2 of these. I won't comment yesterday. So this is a really important thing, right? When it comes to vision, because this was supposed to be like who you identify as a $100 million guy. I just think of somebody who's fucking jacked with golden hair. That's kind of like a vibe that I'm thinking, you know, like this one right here, he's pretty beat up in this. So after I got it, I wasn't too happy about it because your subconscious notices all the details. And if you're visualizing somebody who's beat up, you might get fucking beat up. So I'm a little worried about this one now, which is why I'm happy this one came in, because he's just like stoked, ripping. He looks great. He's in shape. He's now no scratches on him. I don't really want to manifest me like fucking coming out of an explosion, barely alive, right? That's like, you got to be careful with your manifestations, right? No matter how badass the guy is. So I'm just going to put that here, and we're just going to put that somewhere else. So one of the reasons why we're doing this whole in the morning thing is because through my career, I have learned that the most valuable thing I could understand is spirituality, which is a really crazy topic. Because I thought it was all going to be about making money, right? I thought it was all going to be about business and marketing. And suddenly, by my own adventure, I have discovered spirituality is exactly the most important thing, which is, to be specific, your ability to control your own reality. That's what I mean when I say spirituality. Now, because this is such a woo-woo topic, let me just explain for a second so that you can bring yourself up to speed, right? I had a bunch of Christian parents who held me underwater as a kid until I became Christian, right? That was my origin story. basically became Christian after I was quote unquote baptized underwater, right? And then spent the next, 10 years as a child going to church and Christian camps and all those kind of things. When I was a teenager, I spat it out because whatever, I just need to go find my own world, whatever. I don't really know any Christians that are living the life I want to live in general. They're all really happy, caring, go-lucky, kind people, right? But I didn't really know, it didn't really vibe with me, whatever. Got out of it. When I started my journey in entrepreneurship and started trying to make money on the internet, so I could get the fuck out of my parents' basement 10 years ago and go live my life, I thought that I needed to know business, sales, marketing, advertising, all these things after I had the epiphany to go read books and that I could read books. So I went down that road. I started to level up my skill sets. And what I discovered was I hit a glass ceiling, right, in my life, which most people do. This is the first big mental milestone you hit, is this glass ceiling, kind of like the glass ceiling I was talking about being a $40 million entrepreneur, right, that couldn't get to a $100 million entrepreneur. It's the same thing, right? Back then, my glass ceiling was just literally, I was a struggling entrepreneur and I wasn't a successful entrepreneur. That was my thing. So I couldn't even get one deal closed, or let alone any money to make rent. So I was getting evicted because I was hitting glass ceilings just around being, that's your glass ceilings level up as you level up. So then I started to read all of the subconscious mind and identity books, which is what we talked about then. I had to change my identity from being a struggling entrepreneur to a successful entrepreneur, the same way I'm evolving now from fucking level 1 to level 2 Super Saiyan, right? And then when we go Ultra Instinct mode up there, then we're going Ultra Instinct, right? But it's just like one thing at a time. The $100 million a year is kind of like Super Saiyan 2 is how I vibe it. I read all the subconscious mind and identity books to start leveling up my life. But then, it was really interesting. I started to get past the glass ceiling and do things my subconscious mind wouldn't normally do. But then it was almost like the wheels on the bus would just fall off the bus on their own, which was interesting. Like those like serendipitous moments where like kind of magic things happen or things start to come together in cool, beautiful ways. Right? The opposite was happening to me. Like, have you ever had like just random shit fuck you up and random things you can't control just go like screw you over or something like that? That was happening to me a lot. And that was happening to me so much that I felt like something else was going on, right? Something else in the universe was going on, because it sent me really hard to a rock bottom moment that had begun to, screw my life up in a really hardcore way. I'll tell you the story on that a little bit later. But the specifics were, at my lowest moment, right, I discovered a few things. One, something in the universe was keeping me alive, because I was supposed to be fucked and running out of food. I had lost 20 pounds because I had no money left to even order food anymore, and I was just wasting away. I couldn't go to the gym to conserve energy. I was down to $20, a laptop, a suitcase full of clothes, and a scooter, living on my friend's floor in Las Vegas, just with no job, no team, no product, no nothing. And on that day, my scooter got stolen. So I was just completely fucked, right? But for some reason, I would like find $40 on the ground when I would need food for Top Ramen. I'd be out of Top Ramen that day, right? Like there would be weird little moments. Like I would get a weird check in the mail for a tax return for like $150 all of a sudden, out of nowhere. My grandma would send me $100 out of nowhere for like a forgotten birthday present or something like that. Like just the weirdest shit would happen that did not ever happen to me, that would just keep me alive. So that was the first lesson. Something in this universe is kind of keeping me alive in a weird way. It wants me to struggle. It doesn't want me to die, right? Like that was the thing, right? It wants to hurt me, but it doesn't want to kill me, which was kind of the vibe here. So there was this constant feeling like something else was going on. And I had always been attracted to The Secret and the law of attraction, but I didn't really understand it in a kind of interesting way, right? When you read about the books like Think and Grow Rich, you read a lot about the sixth sense, about our antenna to connect with somebody else. You read a lot about faith and about belief in some other hidden forces that's happening, especially when you study a lot of the greats. Everybody talks about this hidden force that's going on behind the scenes that's plugging things together. Especially the big guys, they talk about being channeled through, like they talk about not being the one that's getting the info. They just talk about being the one that's receiving information. A lot of ideas are coming through them. So I was open to this idea of something else going on. And through that search, I found the book Conversation with God. And in that book, they talk about like how you might be controlling more of your reality than you think you are. And it gave a lot of crystal clear, kindergarten simple language on how I could start controlling my reality in kind of cool ways. And that's what really started to work with me at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it was all of a sudden, when I started practicing this correctly, right? And visualizing life as I'm creating it and getting my language to be appropriate for what I'm manifesting, like not saying the words want or need or will, I want, I need, all words that underline show that you don't actually have what you want, and you're constantly manifesting life where you continually don't have it, so it's constantly running away from you. And I switched that to words of like, I have it, I am this guy, I am a rich guy, becoming a rich guy. Then all of a sudden the wheels on the bus would start falling on the bus, which was weird, right? Imagine rolling down the hill and you're on a bus that has 3 wheels, and then out of nowhere, a wheel comes flying and just clicks onto your bus, and now you have 4 wheels, right? Or you're driving down and you don't have no roof to the top of your bus. It's like a shit show, and then a fucking roof from another car flies off of their roof and lands on your roof, and now you have a roof, right? It's like that kind of shit, right? Where it's like, oh my God, that is a weird synchronistic moment that is starting to make things happen in weird ways that are so out of your control. It's like, what the fuck was that, right? It's this weird thing. So I believe that all lucky moments, all synchronistic moments, all magic miracle moments are not random acts of anything, right? They're actually just boomerangs coming back to you, right? Because life is a game of boomerang. And it's about you, when you are sitting and visualizing and creating and feeling like you actually have it, you are throwing a boomerang out to the universe of that emotion, and then a week later, 2 weeks later, days later, a month later, it comes back to you in the form of that same emotion you put out, right? So whatever energy you put out to the world, you're just sending it back out to boomerang back to you, like an infinity symbol in a sense. So that's kind of the big idea of what's going on here. So to receive lucky, magical, miracle moments and have these wheels fall on the bus that go, holy fucking shit, what was that? You got to go, holy fucking shit, back then and something else and send it back to you. That's like one of the hardest part a lot of people have when they're at rock bottom moments is being told to start being grateful, right? Because they're like, fuck you, this is a pain in the ass. But it's like, that's the pivot, right? That's the pivot of just starting to switch your mind to the positive things in your life, even though it's hard, you can't think of anything, especially somebody who hasn't been happy for a long time or has struggled with happiness. If you ask them the question, what are you happy about? They have no answer. They haven't even thought about that. If you ask them the question, okay, well, if you could be happy about something, what would you be? They don't have any answer at all. Like they just can't think about what it could possibly, because they haven't focused on it, right? But building that list of things you're stoked about are what begins to attract things that you're stoked about even more. So, wrapping it back up to why I mentioned the spirituality thing in the first place was this. If you could control your reality, right, let's just fucking prove it, right? That was the whole thing. I believe spirituality is amazing, but the thing with spirituality is you can't just talk about it. You got to do something about it. Like I constantly say this to my girlfriend all the time. Wow, like, okay, if you could, because she's like huge woo-woo kind of manifester. I'm like, okay, if you could manifest anything, you should probably prove that. It's a big deal, right? It's like having a genie magic Aladdin lamp over here, right? Let's just why don't you just let's grab a camera and let's just manifest $1 billion and just show the step-by-step process of that just fucking coming together. That's how I say it. That's how I think, right? Like, I think most guys think like that, where it's like, okay, why don't you just do some fucking crazy miracle walk on water shit then, bro? Like if you can do this crazy shit. So that's what we are doing. We're doing the whole thing. So we're up in the morning, doing the millionaire mornings, but it's really about just showing how these crazy thank you goals, right? Because these crazy goals will begin to materialize on their own. Doesn't matter how big it is. All that matters is the sponsoring thought. Your subconscious root and alignment is aligned with your life story. And it's connected to the path that you're supposed to go down, and you're following God's kind of plan, no matter how big it is. At the end of the day, you could begin to attract situations, serendipitous situations, that are like the roof falling on the bus, that are like the wheel coming together. That's literally my life right now. That's literally what I'm experiencing. Wheels coming on, roofs flying on the bus. Like I am describing what I am living right now because of the serendipitous flow that is happening right now in a cool way. So that's the whole point of what's going on here. So here's how this is all beginning to start, right? So I had gotten this download to do VSL.ai 5 months ago, right? I ignored it. I ignored it. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I checked the domain name. I put it in an offer. The guy refused it. I was like, fuck it, whatever. And then I go to another event, and then I'm talking to this other guy who's starting an AI business, and I get a heavy download. Like, dude, do VSL.ai. VSL.ai. So I'm like, fuck it, finally. This guy was going to start one. I was like, okay, I'm going to start one. So I put in like a $15,000 offer on the domain name, and I get it. And we're like, okay, we're in business. This is like a huge kind of thing because it seems like the universe to me is like, it's giving me this skill set. This is the path that it wants me to do. These are the features it wants me to put in the product and bring to reality that don't exist today. Like, let's start building this. So we go out and we build it, and we build this big thing, and I put up this sign, thank you for giving me $1.7 billion, because of this vision board right here, this one. This is the vision board that I created for Mindvalley. I created this in Estonia, and it was just like designing the life that I was creating with Mindvalley. I'm deciding the financial wins we were going to have, the team that comes together, like our copywriters are fire-spitting magicians, right? I was very specific about all these little details, and then the impact we're going to have on the world. Millions of people are unlocking newfound power. People find a place where they belong. Millions of lost souls are coming home. Our campaigns are the biggest in the world. Cool shit like that, right? But at the top of this, I put, thank you for giving me this home. And when I said, thank you for giving me this home, that was like, thank you for giving me this Mindvalley home because that's so incredible. I love this home where I live in, you know. But today, the royalties I make from fucking Mindvalley are insane, right? They're like 6 figures a month on autopilot. And guess what? It pays for this fucking home. So one day I'm here with my girlfriend and I'm like, she's like, oh my God, this is actually paying for the home. So the words thank you are almost like a superpower when you're praying. Because you never pray with a state of asking, because that's just affirming to the universe you don't have it. You always pray with thank you, right? Thanks. Thanks for this. Thanks for that. Thank you for all the things. Thank you for giving me this home. It's now paying for this home. So that's why we went hardcore with the thank you for giving me $1.7 billion, just to see what happens. Just putting that out there. So you come in, and you just, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how you get there, you just show a little bit of gratitude for the universe. Yo, thanks for hooking me up with this gangster-ass shit. Right, with this big-ass number at the end of the day. So that's kind of how we evolved to that number at the end of the day. So we're starting this business. We got a big vision of where we want to go, where we want to take this thing. We get the developers, we put in the work, we start building everything. We have our next big vision for our next big update. We find the next developer, generative AI agency that can help build this thing, and we hit the gas and we start running and getting that thing going, making customers, right? We start launching our ad campaigns because in our world, right, 2 things. We build the business. You get a lot of revenue for the business, and you do it for a business that has high equity valuable, high amounts of equity so that you can sell it. My personal goal is just mastery, right? I'm just here to master the game. I live in a state of unlimited abundance. I live in a state like I have unlimited money, right? I just do what I love doing, and today it's like that, right? And just money comes to me, that kind of situation. So I'm creating a life of true unlimited abundance where I literally don't have to live in a limited abundance. That's the whole thing, right? We're just creating a limited abundance at the end of the day. So we launched the advertising campaign, and the advertising campaign wasn't a big hit, right? It wasn't the hit that I really thought it was going to be. And the universe started hitting me with some slaps. I got sued by one of my old mentors, right? That I had to settle with him. I had like this $200,000 overpayment hit me from the company I was working with. And that just like was a shock. And then I had a lot of these advertising campaigns just flop. And by flop, I mean not be nuclear things. Because advertising campaigns are a lot like digging for oil in the ground. You're like just constantly digging in the oil in the ground. And it doesn't matter how good you are. It takes a while to like crack a spout where oil comes flying out of the water. Really? I mean, how good you are has more to do with your faith and your belief that you can find oil than it does with your ability to find oil. Right? Or your win rate. Your win rate doesn't matter. Like my win rate is very low. It's like freaking 15% win rate. But your win rate doesn't fucking matter, right? All that matters is you win one time and oil's flying out of the ground and you're fucking balling, right? It's like it doesn't matter how many times you miss in this game. But having the faith that you can eventually hit is the difference between people who make it, find the oil, and don't find the oil. They just give up. We were driving for oil and we weren't finding any oil. A lot of our things were dying, but we were going through this endless evolution of products, right? Endless evolution of variations. One time my friend comes over to my house and I'm still like just like doing this thing. I'm manifesting, I'm meditating on this incredible life. We're putting deadlines on the whole thing. And again, my goal is unlimited abundance at a young age. right? I do not want to work, and when I don't want to be working on stuff for the next 10 years of my life. I want to do one exit that just does it, right? Just gets the master's degree, right? My company's name is literally Adventure Holdings, which means we're not just going on an adventure to hold a bunch of money, right? Which was almost the original statement of it. We're going on an adventure to become the master, which is able to hold a bunch of money, right? That's kind of it. It's about mastery, the same way somebody in grad school is trying to get their master's degree as a doctor, right? And they're just trying to learn how to use a scalpel. I'm trying to learn how to use Facebook ads, right? And they get a degree, that's a paper. I get a degree, that's a jet, right? That's the difference, right? But that's just my definition of it. We're no different than a college kid studying for college. Back to the story, right? So my friend, Sean Wells, who's one of the top supplement formulators in the world, comes over to my house and we do this meditation. We do this like psychedelics. We start meditating, and through this download, we get this download of this rebranding and this potential bigger move that we can make to kind of move into a bigger industry, right? We start to see a small opportunity for like something else. We just feel like there's something else out there. There's this vibe, right? Where it's like the VSL world is great, but personally, based on my past 5 months of advertising in that space, I didn't feel like it was the nuclear. I didn't feel like it was the right niche, which was kind of frustrating because I felt like God had brought me down this road and God told me to go this way, and I had worked on the oil and it just wasn't there, right? So I was like kind of frustrated with this, like, what am I supposed to do? Like, this is the skill set I've been training my life for. This is what I've been putting in here. And then, so we feel like maybe there's this hint of like something else that's kind of going on. And I talk to Sean, and he's like, we start brainstorming these ideas. We come across this crazy idea for a domain name. It's genius.ai, right? Because we're looking for like, what would be the most valuable domain name in the world? Or like, how do we describe what our AI tool does to people? Oh, it just makes anybody a genius. That's like AI. It just takes the not smart people and it makes them a genius. So we put out all these different domain name purchases for all these different names, and like salesgenius.ai, we did all these tests on a company called PickFu, where we could ask like 200 men over 40 like what they think the best name for this kind of business would be. And we did all these tests, and we found out Genius brand was kind of the best brand that we could have. Anyway, shit is coming together like fucking roofs flying on our business right now at the end of the day. After this meditation session, Sean ends up leaving. He has a guy come to pick him up at my house, right? This guy that he designed supplement for. His name is Rodney. He owns a massive MLM out here. It's like, oh, you guys own an MLM company. You should meet, right? So we meet. Turns out the guy lives down the street. We go to get coffee a few weeks later, right? We kind of actually didn't really, it was a few weeks went by, we didn't really do anything. But I kept running into him, and Caitlin kept running into him over and over again. Like maybe 3 or 4 times we would run into him in the street. And there's this weird vibe like the universe is trying to connect with us or whatever. Somebody wants to like connect. We end up getting coffee together, and I'm just like, oh, he's got this MLM company. He's got tens of thousands of direct sales reps that work with them. MLM is a really fascinating industry because all the there's only like $1 billion VSL business. The rest of them are multi-billion dollar. The rest of the multi-billion people are all multi-level marketing, basically community brand building kind of stuff. So I've always thought that MLM was a very interesting kind of space to be in, and or just very valuable space to be in because it's just crazy lucrative. And I'm sitting there and I'm just showing him the tool. I'm like, yeah, dude, we just built this tool that could sell anything. Bam, we show it to him. He's like, whoa, that's pretty amazing, right? That's pretty cool. A week goes by and he's like, oh, why don't you come back over to my house? We're going to do this like mushroom ceremony or whatever. So I go to his house. We're just like, take mushrooms. We're just chilling, meditating, having a vibe, watching the sunset. And then he just talks about, I think this could be a good tool for this marketing world, man. I think a lot of direct sales people don't really know how to sell or how to do any of this stuff and could use help. A lot of people just don't know how to apply what they're learning. And if you could build a tool that could make the video for them and write the script for them and post for them and kind of do all these things, that would be pretty dope. It's like, maybe we should I'm like, what? Because I'm like, my head is kind of like out of this. I've been a sales guy my entire career. Like all I've been doing is selling. And he's like, I'm like, yeah, man, these valuations are insane. Like I've been to 40 million twice. He's like, dude, in MLM, 40 million is nothing. Nothing. You have tens of thousands of sales reps selling your stuff. It's nothing, right? This shit goes way harder. And he's just starting to put these together. He's like, what if you built could I have a white labeled version of your tool for my sales rep people? And could I have a piece of the back end? Because this would be really cool if we could try to sell this thing. He's like, I got ideas that could help sell this thing. So bada boom. What started as just some weird ideas began to just evolve into something really crazy and really special. And I can't go into too much more detail on what's happening there. Outside of, we just finished the deal yesterday for Genius.ai, which has been a 2.5-month deal I've been working on. I offered them $500,000. They came back with $1 million. We got to a center of 870 grand, but that was like just not vibing. That was too much. So we offered them equity. It was a no. He thought the VSL idea was too small. And then we suddenly pitched him this new idea, which is becoming a AI co-pilot for sales reps. VSL.ai is a co-pilot for copywriters and VSL creators. Now we're pivoting to AI co-pilots for sales reps. And we're having MLMs distribute our product. And we're working on deals to be on the back end of some of the biggest MLM softwares in the world, because this guy's been around for a very long time, and just take this thing by storm. The point is, miracles have been coming on this thing, right? Miracles of meeting this guy who just happens to be my neighbor, right? Who happens to know all this stuff. I'm not even a sales guy anymore. I'm not even in advertising anymore. I've been in this space for 10 years. I'm not. I am now just a product development guy, right? I got books on product development right now. User stories applied. You know what a user story is? A user story is something that your product does that will help your user, and you're supposed to build your product around these user stories, not just like random things you have to do. You'll be like, my user can get the scripts they need, can easily post this to YouTube, can get a video updated in a second, and then you build your software based around those kind of things. I got to upgrade my mindset and become a different person now to be able to take this thing down. But not only that, so many freaking miracles are happening now. This deal happened. The other deal with this big software company started to get put together, right? We just closed this Genius.ai thing. I had a call with I did the first call with them. It was amazing. I did the second call with this big software company. It was amazing. I did a third call with their C-suite team, and I got ripped by one of the guys because he got me really into like, you know, what's different between this and ChatGPT and the ChatGPT wrapper. And I didn't have my product guy, but I was able to like kind of, you know, he's like, why can't they just build this myself? And I had some pretty good like response back to that, but I wasn't like, that's not like my area of expertise. Anyway, 2 other guys, months before I flew to San Francisco for an AI convention with the goal of meeting a product guy, I meet this crazy motherfucker guy who works at a massive, you know, huge AI development agency who does like Siri for Apple and all these crazy ass fucking, he's been in big data and machine learning for 10 years, right? He learns about this pitch thing, and he decides to join our team all of a sudden and start putting in a part-time thing. And he brings his other friend, who's another badass, who wants to become the CTO of what we have going on here. And the next day, I have a call. After I had that tough call, I have another call with the tough guy, right? All of their tech team, all of their C-suite people, and really about what's the competitive advantage and of everything. And basically their first call on the team, and they fucking crush it. Like if I did not have these guys, I would have been completely fried. They were talking about the difference between like, what's your data security plan? What's your data privacy plan, right? How are you totally different than this whole thing? How are you not going to be dependent on ChatGPT or like any of these other models? How are you going to be able to like secure everything and integrate with the back end and all these kind of things? Because if it doesn't integrate, it doesn't matter what your features are. It's not going to work. These guys fucking knocked it out of the park. So we are having like miracle after miracle after miracle where the wheels are just falling on the bus. We're like, we have a vision, and this is how it works. You have a vision, and what actually gets you there is, yes, hard work and discipline and waking up early and grinding and turning the wheel and being a warrior for God who shows up and does the request that God is asking for. But more importantly, even with all that, you can't do it on your own. It is the magical wheels on the bus that begin to just fall onto the bus that makes stuff come through. And that is a result of boomerangs that come back to you. That's why we're doing this video. So we're just talking about boomerangs, showing boomerangs, keeping an eye on boomerangs. The more you see them, the more you get them. That's the thing, right? You got to see them. So the more you count your blessings in your life, the more you get blessings more back. Because you count that blessing, you feel good, and it boomerangs back to you a little bit later. We're off to the gym now every day. 2 hours of work on the business. Actually, it was 1 hour work on the business today. 1 hour work with the filming, and 1 hour in the gym. Then we're doing 1 hour on the beach. Then we got some humongous team calls going on today. Today is a Tuesday. All the team gets together and meets up and explains what's going on in their division, what's been happening, what's been popping. And my product dev team, those two guys I mentioned, have some pretty freaking great visions about what's happening next. Now, the coolest part about this is that I'm not even like the owner of the product. I own the product. It's my business, right? But like, I have this guy that I brought in is like owning the product and the project and everything and the vision and all that stuff. So much of the stuff that I would have to do, like I got a guy that's there doing it now, which is super dope. So it's going to be really cool. They have a really exciting game plans to see. They took a look at my development teams and they just fucking shat all over them. They're like, these guys are terrible. Apparently I hired some terrible people. So they're fixing out that mess and all those things and dialing in something. But you know what was cool that happened this week? Actually, Black Friday. One of my students had $1 million day. $1.2 million in revenue. I'll send you the screenshot so you can post it up here. But one of my motherfucking students, I've got some of the best marketers in the world inside of my community, and they all just come to really they pay me. They have to pay me a lot of money to be in this community because they're all my coaching students. And man, some guys were firing. One guy, his name is Leo. I did a coaching call on him called the Millionaire Mentee. So I interviewed all my best students and tried to pull out their wisdom and all the ideas right there. And one of the guys, this guy signed up maybe 4 months ago. He was doing $68,000 a month at this company, and it wasn't very profitable. Even though it's a lot of revenue, a lot of ad spend, it wasn't very profitable. He comes in, he learns VSLs. Within a month and a half, he cracks his first VSL, gets to 400 grand in a month, and then gets to 800 grand, $865,000 in a single month. I do a testimonial on him because that's a pretty insane transformation. And then the next month, he drops a screenshot 2 days ago on Black Friday of like $900,000 in sales. He went from 68K a month to 800 grand a month to 900 grand in a day. Holy shit, these are my fucking people. Christ almighty, that's crazy. And he wasn't even the biggest guy. This other guy's like, yeah, bro, I've been doing $500,000 days like every day this month. This is a one point. Like, I've been doing that every day, dude. Like, come on. But this guy, he had been prepping for this since February. He hired me in February, paid me $20,000 for 4 phone calls with him, and just go through some VSL stuff and took my course and all these things. And he was talking about how last Black Friday and last holiday season, he had a really big explosion he wasn't ready for the holidays. He didn't realize how seasonal his product was and how big it could actually be. So he was like, I'm not going to make that mistake again. So he's been like prepping on Black Friday, prepping for December, the whole year since February, thinking about inventory and thinking about dialing all these things in. So it was so freaking cool, and I cannot be more proud of this guy. I cannot be more proud of anybody who like just clears his vision on the life that he's creating, the business he's building, and just goes for it and does beautiful moves. His funnel and his website and his product are all phenomenally executed. His creative department that he built out to build these advertisements was phenomenally built and phenomenally done. So it is so dope to see, because nobody starts out like that. Like, everybody starts looking for a product to sell on the internet, right? And everybody starts in the same fucking place. But the evolution and the demand for excellence and the demand for like having a dope product and really having a dope funnel and building everything out beautifully was just so high. So that was so cool to see. Another really amazing thing, it just gets so money because I do these coaching calls now, was this guy yesterday. The guy I was talking about that I talked to that was doing 10 products a week. So he built a massive team of drop shippers like that could launch 10 products a week on ads. A week. Nobody does that. Most people don't even want to do like 5 videos a week for one product, let alone 10 product launches a week. That is insane, right? Because launching products and testing products are how you find breakthrough products. That's like how it's done. You don't just like just pick a good idea your first time and it works. You just pick your best idea, and then you pick the next best idea. And the name of the game is not creating it so you're so attached or have so much invested in your first idea. You just want to be able to bob and weave and test different products or whatever. That's how you really find breakthrough ideas, by digging through. So he's launching 10 products a week, and he finds all these winning products that convert well for him, that make him money. And he does it with search, Google search too. So he like just basically finds a trending product on Facebook ads, and he just goes to the Google search engine and figures out what would people have to be typing in that would want to buy this product. And then he creates just advertorials for those people, for those keywords. And he just posts it right there. There you go. That's basically it. He finds a product that's trending. He writes an advertorial using like VSL.ai, using a copywriter to get an advertorial made, get a page made. And he just buys traffic to any one of these like keywords. Like whatever. You know, if you're like selling, you know, shower head filters, you're just typing in, you're just looking for people that are searching for like best shower head filters, or like problems with shower head filters, or whatever. Like my shower head filter is not working, or like skin rashes or whatever. And that's your shower head filter, right? He's got an advertorial for each one of these things. That's all he does. So product selection, man, it's so cool just to see that kind of work and effort, because that's it. Alex Hormozi says it the most. You know, you're probably doing the right thing. You're just probably not doing enough of it, right? You're doing the right thing by launching products, but you're not doing enough of them. This guy's launching 10 a week. Most people just like launch one of their life. It was so funny because he struggles, because drop shippers have this thing where like the product quality sucks, the shipping sucks. It's kind of like when you do drop shipping, you're not going to do really amazing quality products because nobody's going to like you for shipping it in 3 weeks anyways, right? So a lot of the stuff is people just selling not very good stuff. I'm asking him like, what's your reorder rate? He's like, oh, it's 0. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody wants to buy again. I'm like, yeah, bro. It was so funny. They're like, how do we optimize for increasing the amount that people want to reorder? I was like, you mean, how do you optimize for being selling a dope fucking product? How do you optimize for making people happy? Is that what you're saying? Like, how do you actually make people happy when they order from you, you jackass? And we put together a list. I was like, all right, what are things that piss you off when you buy stuff? Like, what would really piss you off? Oh, if it's late, if the product sucks, if the promises were too high. Like, yeah, dude, it's like basic kindergarten shit here. What would have to happen for someone to really like you? Oh, the product comes really fast. It's exactly what I'm looking for. It's well branded. It's well made. Everything looks great. I'm like, dude, there you go, man. That's it, right? So that's what we have to do. You got good customer support. All that stuff's built out. All that is influences your reorder rate. All that influences your brand value, building something you want to buy again. So these guys were like, they had been just trapped in their own, just constantly churning out products all day long, that they just missed these other scenes. And they wanted to take their winning products and move them into real brands. Which gives me a quick little lesson I can teach you about moving into real brands. Is there's 3 types of people when you're building a brand and a product. 1, there was the drop shipping guy that I mentioned to you who just sells the stupidest shit, right? You just cheap out on everything. You have the stupidest products, longest shipping times, whatever, right? Then you just decide to pivot to being the best. So you're out there looking for the best products in the world. This is person number 2, someone who's looking for the best thing, the fastest shipping times, because a lot of people are like extreme like that. Like I'm extreme like that, where you're just, let's just make it the best in the world. So you go really hard on the features and everything to make sure that you really have a badass branded, really high quality product. Then there is the next stage, which is like the Steve Jobs stage, which is what I call blazing on unique mechanisms, which is basically, let's say we're in hair removal, right? So you're selling a really shitty hair removal product, and then you decide to sell the best hair removal product in the world. Then the future side of it is, what new technology is being created that could have the next generation of hair the best stuff in the world, right? So that's called bleeding edge mechanism creation, where you're like looking for manufacturers and looking for scientists who have done this, or looking for people who are like on the bleeding edge of this and looking for new technology that's coming out that solves the problem. It's never about the product that you're selling. It's always about the problem that you're solving. So you're looking for the newest, latest, high-tech science that may not be out yet, that it can create this whole thing. That's what Steve Jobs did with the iPhone. He's like, this is the newest shit that no one had seen coming, right? It wasn't the best phone. It was brand new fucking shit out of nowhere that was completely revolutionized, but solving the same problem. People need a fucking cell phone, right? It's already out there. Anyway, let's hit the gym. Stas is here. We're late. Boom.
Okay, all right. Okay, let's go there.
Okay, shoulders and arms.
A little bit warm up, huh?
Okay. So why do we like to do shoulders like every day?
Not every day.
Well, I mean, like warm up shoulders all the time.
Because you're using shoulders a lot. Upper body, you do everything to your shoulders.
Okay.
Everything. So it's good to keep it in a good shape like this.
Okay.
So you need to warm up.
And what is this doing to my shoulders?
So rotate your calf. So
Okay.
moving your rotation.
I have muscles that go sideways?
No. So what's happening is, here is your socket, right? This is a bone and bone, right?
Yeah.
So when you do this motion, that's what's happening to your bone. You're rotating it inside. And so it's a lot of different kind of fibers, connective tissues going around your shoulder, around your bone. So they're all warming up.
Okay.
So when you actually gonna do some shoulders later or arm, biceps, triceps, you actually already warmed up your shoulders, so you're not gonna get injury.
What does warm up mean? What does that even mean?
Because it's not just about muscle. You have a lot of connective tissues there, which is you need to warm up.
Okay.
That's how injuries happen.
Like I need to get blood flow to them?
Yeah, so that's what's going on. So you're getting blood flow into your joint.
Okay.
And that's how you get lubricated, the joint. And you don't, when you warm, your joint is warmed and all the connective tissue is warm, it's less risk of injury.
Okay.
Because you're lifting pretty heavy, so it's a lot of risk of injury. Okay, so we're gonna do now presses.
Yeah.
And then biceps curl, standing. We've done it before, right?
Yeah.
Each time. Okay, and biceps. Elbows back, elbows back.
Elbows back more?
Yeah, just follow the rope. There you go, just like that, because it's gonna work your upper. Do you feel it in the upper biceps?
A little bit. More when I do that, yeah. I go a little higher.
Higher, yeah. Right, because contraction goes right on top, like right here.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
More weight.
Okay.
You need more weight. You're gonna grab like this and just extend your arms like this. Very smooth, no jerking because it's a cable. So, but extend all the way back. Yeah, there we go. Free motion. That's it. Yeah, then you're gonna feel it right on top of your triceps. Feel it?
Yeah.
Contract it and hold it for a second. There we go. Feel difference?
Yeah, that was better.
When your elbows a little bit back like this, and you're free. So don't go straight. Free. Just do this.
Yeah, I feel this a lot.
And when you extend and hold it for a second, that's when you're contracting, bring more blood into your muscle.
Okay. Yeah, I feel that a whole lot.
There we go. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, much better.
There we go.
Easy.
That was good, yeah. A little easy.
No face. Easy. Yeah. Good. Just like that. And last one. Nice. Biceps. Let's see if you can do this weight. I think you can. 13. Keep elbows back. 14. And last one. Yeah, nice. So when you getting harder, even more elbows back, and you feel easier to do it. Okay. You'll see. Yeah, even more like this. Nice. Very nice. 17. Extend all the way. 19 and last one. Yes. Good.
So we're good.
So just smooth. 5, 6. Keep breathing. 7, 15, 16. Keep going. Very good. Very good. A little bit more. Yes. Good. And last one. Yeah. Nice. Even a little bit, when you do just a little bit, it's good.
It's good. It's good.
A little rest.
Look at that, bro. We're getting big. What is going on? You know? Slowly. One day it's just going to be like, boom. Goddamn. Oh, goddamn. 4 months from now, it's going to be fucking super psycho. Super Saiyan. Super cool. Yeah, Super Saiyan mode. That's it. We could go to the beach a lot and get my hair fucking golden beach blonde, you know? Let's go. California lifestyle. We should have Garrett back at the beginning of the year. He's going to come back, work out with us. If you want to see a Super Saiyan, that's fucking Garrett. Garrett White. I was working out with Stas and Garrett for the first time. And I thought they were going to kick this up to 11 and kill me, but they dialed it down and did this kind of slower kind of stuff. That's not as hard. And Garrett's like, I thought this was the stupidest shit ever, man. But I fucking did it for 6 months, and now he's shredded. That's it, with him. That's all we do. Last one.
9, 10, 11, 12. 3 more. 1. Elbows back, elbows back. 2. Keep it back. Yeah, that's it. Nice. Okay. And last one. Yes. Nice. By the way, your skin is clearing up. Do you see this?
It's doing better, yeah.
It's getting better and better.
Yeah.
Good. And last one. Good, that's it. Excellent. All right. Just gonna do it here so you don't have to go far.
Okay.
All right. Back a little bit more, back. Go. Yes. There we go. It's probably light. Slowly. See this part? Focus on this thing, yeah. So it's contracting. This part on him, you can see how it's contracting. It's really nice looking.
My veins getting bigger.
Yeah, that's another
Cool.
thing. That's another thing. That's what's happening slowly. Blood vessels growing.
The blood vessels.
The blood vessels growing into your muscle. More
Yeah.
blood vessels, so more blood coming, bringing the nutrients to your muscle, so you grow faster.
Okay.
So it's a process. You see, it's a process of growing slow, inside out. Remember I told you about it?
Process of hanging out with Stas every day.
That's why it takes time.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how fast you want to do it, but it doesn't work fast. You need to be patient and wait, and that's how it goes. It's just day after day you work out and you're getting better and better.
Okay.
15, 16, 17, 18, 14, and one more time. Yes, good, got it. That's a good weight, 50 pounds.
That one?
Good, yeah, very good weight. You did 15 reps and you, like at the end, you're really already tired.
Solid.
Good. Yeah. Nice. With the pump, nice pump.
Thanks, Stas. Stas already got the compliments.
It's the first time I see like really good pump on you.
Really?
Like, really good.
It's because I'm surfing.
It's because you're surfing, yeah.
No, it's because I'm eating good, right?
That's because a lot of things. Yeah.
A lot of things. Lots of pieces.
Yeah, but it's not surfing. Surfing is not one.
It's not
of
surfing.
them.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
And last one. Yes. Nice. 3 more. Come on. 1, 2, and last one, Peter. Yes, you got it. Come on. Yeah. 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Good.
Okay.
That's the last set, so that's why you're tired now.
Okay.
Nice, good pump. Very good pump.
There we go. Watch out, Garrett White. He doesn't know what's coming. I hope he's still working out.
18, 15. You see muscle contraction so well. Good, Pierre. Come on. In a couple of months, you're gonna see big difference on you. But
Yeah.
It's good to filming.
Yeah.
So you're gonna see progress.
Hell yeah.
Slowly, how you changing.
Yeah.
19, and last one. Yes. Yes. All right. You're gonna go to the beach now too.
Yeah.
Good. It's nice actually before you're working, kind of.
I get cold. I gotta like paddle around. I gotta catch a wave.
Yeah, it's nice.
You know, the wave just goes like. It's great. And then you just go.
Nice. All right. Let's go.
So what's the difference between this one and that one?
Because this one works your lower part more. There
This?
Yeah, like lower part. Yeah, from here to here, a lot of lower part.
So I just keep going until it hurts really bad?
Until what?
It hurts really bad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Normally, yeah, you're doing it until it's really burning.
Yeah.
Good. Yes. Yes. Nice, Peter.
last one. It hurts really bad, and it just disappears.
You feel on the bottom, right? The pain.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I feel it.
18, 19, and 20. Nice. All right, Peter.
Okay, that's a wrap. That's all, folks. Look at that. That wasn't too hard. I mean, compared to what I was doing before, you know, when you're constantly trying to do better than last time, you start lifting really heavy weights eventually, and that shit gets fucking heavy. And not doing the form correctly, it's crazy how just doing it light, which is proper form on each move, just really gets it wrecked. I mean, I did a workout like that yesterday on chest, super light, didn't even put 135 pounds on the bench press, right? I was doing just light ass fucking shit. But damn, am I fucking sore today from that. I mean, like, I am way more sore than I was ever working out before on my own. So this workout is just crazy. Look what it puts me through. And it's great. We're getting bigger by the day. And the best part about it, no fucking cardio. No running on treadmills. No salads. Fuck a salad. Isn't that cool? It's so dope when you find out that you could achieve all your goals and do all the things that you want to do. You know, do it the way that would work. Because I didn't really want to kill myself to, like, every day to, like, you know, over long periods of time. Anyway, it's so cool to see you don't have to do that. Don't have to eat salads. There's like the universe like made it a way for you to like put in the work you need to put in without going over the top to achieve all the things you want to do. Okay, let's roll. Yes, you probably noticed, brain's working this morning. We're up at 2:30 now to make the Millionaire Morning videos with you guys so that I can have my brain sharp. You don't have to see me look like a bowl of mashed potatoes. Now it's beach time. That's what we're going for. It's the to-do of the day. That was dope. 3 little waves. I'll take it. Yeah, so this is a boogie. This is a boogie board. I was doing this as a kid. They're really fun. They're really easy. You just lay down and slide down the wave like nothing. But they get a little boring, so we're getting a surfboard soon and do the surf thing. But yeah, boogie board. This costs like $100. Fins, $60. Great way to get started in the water. Boom, nothing to it. So what time is it now? 6:45. So we got up at 2:30. We did an hour of work. Got some contracts and some domains signed, reached out to some lawyers, putting some fucking dots together, did an hour of filming, did the bodyboarding. Here we go, time to go prep for a podcast later today. I think I have 2 podcasts today, I believe. And yeah, fucking big team meeting. This is dope as hell. Much more successful morning video now that we're getting it in the routine. I now have 10 people I have to coach. I did 2 coaching calls yesterday, so that's part of my package when you sign up to Business Elite Coaching. I talk to you for an hour and we just kind of figure out where you're at, where you want to go, where you're going, and we just put together kind of like a game plan for your next 3 to 6 months. It's pretty easy to do. I mean, we just help. Everyone's got something they're doing over the next 3 to 6 months. I'm just looking at it and fucking making sure it's the right move to be making and making sure you got a right VSL strategy if that's what you need. And then they just jump in my group coaching program. So every Wednesday, I do a group coaching call, Lead Business Group Coaching, where I just answer the little questions. You know, now that you got a path, you just have little micro questions for each little step. And you want to have stuff looked at and reviewed, and this is where all of my boys and girls meet up, and we do a group coaching call. It's a great place to network and meet badass people. But we sold 10 elite coaching packages this weekend. So I got 10 phone calls I got to make with 10 different people who all want to fucking make more money and make a bigger impact, live a better life. Yeah, so this is pretty gangster. I told you earlier today, but I just want to announce like how freaking crazy of a move this is. Genius.ai is what I think one of the most valuable domain names in all of artificial intelligence, because AI makes you a genius. And it is such a strong parent company brand because you can do genius texting, genius emailing, genius sales, genius marketing, whatever. There's so many subdivisions of the Genius brand that can work here. And this is a 7-figure freaking domain. And it took me 2.5 months to negotiate with this guy. He's been holding it for 3 years. And more than the money, he has so much emotional attachment to it that he didn't want to get rid of it. But we finally got him to see an opportunity for his best case scenario to come true with the reason why he bought this domain name in the first place. And we were able to sell him on the team and the vision and the dream. I had to give him a final notice because we're starting to launch a brand and we had other brand ideas. And here's a big lesson. Here's how to fucking negotiate, right? I've known this, but Matthew McConaughey in his Greenlights book really made it clear with how he was getting deals in Hollywood, same way getting movies actors. He said the same thing. He's always say, always love, never need, right? So he's like, I would love to have this movie, but I don't need to have the movie, you know? You know how some people, when they negotiate, they're like, well, I don't need the money. They have this weird, like, I don't need it. I don't need it. Like, I'm so cool, I don't need it. But that attitude is not like, it's not needy, but it's also kind of douchey. Versus, like, on this call, I'm like, listen, man, I would love to have this domain name. That's why I'm fighting for it. It's incredible. But, you know, I don't need it. I'll be just fine if I go out and do something else. I have something else. It's not as cool as this. Obviously, your domain name is legendary, and it's freaking amazing, and I want to completely dominate all my competitors. And I would love to have this, right? But you know, no big deal, dude. It's not a big deal. If you don't want to do it with me, that's cool. I don't really need it. It's not a big deal. But I would love to have it. So if we can do it, let's do it. That kind of energy is how you land deals and close clients. After I said something around that kind of angle, the guy started to be like, okay, this is cool. It's really that non-needy vibe that puts it out there, but it's also the love vibe too. And this is the same way with girls too. If you're talking to girls, it's like, you would love to take them out of the date. You don't need to, right? But you admit to yourself and you're honest to yourself, yes, I would love to take you out. Yes, I would love to talk to you. You're super hot, right? So you're going up there and you're just showing that you would love to talk to her, but you don't have that needy energy. I'm like, you need to talk to her. That one thing, if you can stick with that, just constantly just, I love it, I don't need it, constantly just affirming, yeah, I would love to have this, I don't need it. Would love to be in that movie, you know? Food for thought for this day. Bam. And we're home. Morning, little hoodlum. It's okay. This is what apparently I told her we were going to hang out this morning.
You said if I wake up early. We're just trying to figure out what time we get to hang out.
The mornings that we agreed?
That's every morning. At 6 o'clock.
Okay. We can set it up. Please forgive me.
I just want to see you for more than 5 seconds.
We just got her back from sleeping in. She's been sleeping in every single day.
Sleeping in is 6:30, guys.
No, sleeping in is 7:30. But this is good because now we have time. Instead of doing the beach, yeah, you come together.
What did you do today?
Let's go on a walk to the beach tomorrow. We went surfing. We went boogieing. I got barreled 3 times.
Is it fun?
It's pretty dope. It's just hard doing the balance.
What balance?
The balance of relationship and keeping the girlfriend super stoked at me.
What percentage of a balance would you give it these days?
1.
Sounds about right. 99 to 1.
There's big moves happening.
Well, here's my video. I need you.
And it's me. I thought I would make you a video so that you remember. I'm your girlfriend, and we are supposed to have magical mornings together. That's why I've been waking up at 5:30 to get my stuff done, so that at 6:15 you come home and you spend time with me. Since that's supposed to be the only.
Okay, watch this guy though.
You understand that physical reality is literally just a dream that your spirit is having? Literally. You have never left spirit. None of you have. That's your natural state. You're there right now. You are in spirit right now. you are dreaming that you're not. That's what physical reality is. So the entity that you call Jesus simply understood that and therefore expanded the consciousness beyond the physical parameters to a certain point, to allow a fuller expression of his total being and the being of all that is to come through, as all of you can do. That's actually what he was teaching. Not about the idea of creating Christianity per se, but that you are all Christ's. And therefore, what he exhibited, you can exhibit. In fact, that's actually still in your Bible.
How we use this.
As a quote from him.
Most of these spiritual things,
Greater things I have done.
Greater things
This is
than
the last part.
I have done will you do.
do.
How could that be if you are not also capable of becoming a Christ?
yeah, I'm all aboard with that. But the big question is, what does that do? 'Cause a lot of this spiritual stuff really comes down to the fact that you control your reality.
Yes.
So if I'm just dreaming, how does that change anything? How's that useful?
Well, because then you can understand that you can control it.
Yeah.
It's not just that you're dreaming, it's that you're dreaming and that you have the power that's also in Christ. It's Christ consciousness. So Jesus was an entity or an example of possibility. And he did say, greater things that I've done, you can do also. It's in the book of John. And what can you do with that? I don't know, heal people, create anything you want in your life.
How do you heal people with that?
You have faith. You have unwavering faith. And it's the power of belief that brings it into existence. You don't think so?
No.
So what do you mean? What can you do with it? You can do anything with it. I just watched The Matrix last night. This is like super on point. And then my friend sent me this along with a Bible verse. And then I happened to open my notebook from I don't even know how long ago this was. And it says, talk about modern day miracles. What's happening now? They were reaching Christ consciousness.
Caitlin is like
I like clues.
Sherlock Holmes for
The game of life.
crazy people.
Not for crazy people, for the game of life. Okay.
Oh yeah, life
If
secrets, yeah.
this is potentially a simulation, potentially, right? I don't know. I
There you go.
just watched The
That's
Matrix.
what it's about, yeah.
So,
And that's what the Matrix is about too, the simulation, right?
yeah, spoiler alert,
Everyone's
guys.
trapped in a simulation.
I don't know how this came out 25 years ago, and I just watched it yesterday.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
She's the one.
But
With clues now. Now we're talking about the Matrix.
there's so many clues in The Matrix. Oh my God. I have them all on my phone. I took notes watching it.
What have you found?
Well, okay, when he goes back to the Matrix world, he says to him, there can be no fear, no doubt, no disbelief. And if you do that, you'll free your mind. And that's exactly what Jesus said. You can't have fear, you can't have doubt, you have to have unwavering will. So it's kind of the same message. And also, if you notice, they call him Jesus Christ a lot. And his name is Neo, which is our neocortex, which is what controls perception of reality. And Morpheus is the name of the god of dreams.
She looks up the name of everything that you see.
It's Latin.
Every word in there is what does that mean? What does
Okay,
that mean?
words are so powerful, and we use them without understanding their power or why they were actually created. So if you look things up in the root word, then it gives you a better idea. And Zion is the city of refuge. I don't know, there's a lot in it.
Don't stop now. Anyway, let's wrap this back up.
Okay.
If it's a simulation, right,
Yes.
what's that? What's valuable like that? So the first thing I want to put out is I don't really care as much of what is true. I care more about what is helpful.
And how you can apply it to
And
your
how
life.
you can apply it. The problem with just not believing in any of this stuff means that there is no one else that can help you. You have no control. That's a victim mentality. Regardless of whether that's true, it's just not a better way to live life.
Yeah, because you can believe anything.
You can believe anything. It does not
You can
matter
believe
what you
anything.
believe. You can live your own la-la land. But if you believe that just by you visualizing something will happen, then now you have a little more control over your life than the people who don't believe that, right? Mm-hmm. And that sort of certainty and control and belief in faith is literally what brings it to you. So this is handy. So if we're a simulation, right, that means that we have a little bit of power or control to.
Not a little bit, we have full power and control.
Damn. Thinking too small over here.
Yeah, we have
Right.
full power and control.
Well, to do what?
Anything we believe is possible. And literally, if you apply this back to the Matrix or Jesus or any of these examples, right? These are all just examples of what's possible. Like, Neo couldn't jump until he believed. My favorite line in the movie was like, so he's like fighting the agents, which nobody does because the agents will absolutely kill you. So you have to run from the agents. But he doesn't run.
Who are dressed up like corporate figures, by the
Yes.
way, which I thought was great.
And
It's
also
like your boss.
They're called sentinels, but if you look up what sentinels means in Latin, it means, just saying, it's authority figure. And also in the U.S. is U.S. sentinels. It's the government, police. So it's authority. It's people keeping us in the box, which is true. But at one point in the movie, he decides not to fight them, and he turns back and he's like, no, and then drops all the bullets. And then they're like, what's happening? Because they're like back in the spaceship, and and Morpheus goes, he's starting to believe.
Yeah, no, that was
so
the
it's
fight scene.
That's the most powerful. I started to cry, literally, because I felt it in my soul. I was like, oh, so it's the power of belief. When he believed that, right, he was the one. And the Oracle, guys, this is like totally becoming a Matrix recap, sorry. But the Oracle, when he goes to see the Oracle, if you pay attention, the building is called Heart of the City. So the Oracle is really just going into your heart. Like the Oracle.
That's your house? And
Yeah.
the Oracle lives in a place called Heart.
Heart of the City. Yeah, but Heart. And it's number 4 on the building, which is the 4th center of your chakra. It's a green building, which is also your heart. Right? It has to do with your chakras, heart.
I'm trying to watch the movie, and she's fucking talking about shit.
This is
like
how my
like
brain
mid-movie.
thinks. This is how my brain thinks. I'm like, oh my God, number 4, heart of the city. Okay, so anyways, and the Oracle is just your higher self, right? It's the one that knows. And when he goes to the Oracle, he can't tell her. She's just confirming a belief that he currently has, because she asks him first, what do you believe? And he's like, I'm not the one. And then she's like, okay. So it's just as within, so without. So whatever you believe about yourself will be true. So back to your point, if you believe that you are like Christ, that Christ is just a level of consciousness that we reach, and you truly, fully, with all of your heart and soul believe that, then what do you mean you can do? You can go walk into children's hospitals and teach this, and you can free them from disease. You can help people struggling. You could change the entire world. You could create heaven on earth. Why is that such a well, that's cool video. What do you do with it? I don't know, change the world? Are you with me?
That just hit me in the head, yeah. Thank you.
Anyways, this is why I was upset you weren't home, because I was so excited to talk about this.
I just try to think about how to use this to make money. I mean, that's what I'm applying this for.
This is why we're a very good, healthy balance.
Yeah. Why do I care about making money? Just because that's what God told me to do.
Well, because it is important, because then you get people's attention. And with money, you can do lots of good things. So, like, spread a message.
Yeah.
What do you think, Brandon? On board?
Okay.
Good talk.
But I didn't know Caitlin was supposed to hang out this morning. I had no clue. Not even a single hint that we were supposed to hang out. I said we were going to plan it. So sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we go skating, sometimes we go surfing, sometimes we hang out with Caitlin.
Okay, well, you let me know when the hangout with Caitlin comes in.
Okay, well, we can do it now.
Well, we just hung out. This is the most I've gotten in a long time.
Okay, so we can do...
We should podcast about this.
well, what?
I don't know.
Matrix?
Miracles.
You get to choose what it is today.
Okay, I'll decide.
What is it?
I don't know. I have to think about it. I want to read some things to inspire me. Did you just buy that book called Inspired?
Yeah. There you go. See this? She's like clues like this.
Clue. I need to read a book to inspire me, and then there's a book that says Inspired. I
Remember that one
swear I
book,
didn't
You're Not
know.
Broken?
Okay, this is a really funny, quick story. So I was planning my birthday party, and I'm walking into this like a store called At Home, which is like kind of like a Home Goods. And as I'm like walking into the store, I get drilled by this kid on his e-bike, and I'm just, last thing I remember is just screaming and hitting the ground. And immediately I was like, oh my God, I think I broke my arm. Like, it was just, you just had that feeling. The manager saw it, so the police come, the fire station come, the ambulance comes. Peter's laughing. Anyways, I wound up leaving, and they're like, you need to go get it x-rayed. Like, it was like cut, but it was not like a bone sticking out. So I come home. Peter's like always very calm. Like, I really appreciate that about you. And he's like, what happened? I'm like, I told him what happened. And he's like, is it broken? I'm like, I don't know. And as he's saying this to me, we're walking down the stairs. And it's literally like this. Is it broken? And I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, oh, I have a package. It's a new book I ordered. And he opens up the book and the book just says, you're not broken. And I'm like, what? And he's like, oh, my friend wrote this book. I bought it. And I was like, Peter, the book, it's a sign. Like, how do we not? He thinks I'm crazy. They're everywhere. And I'm like, you're not broken. Okay, I'm not broken.
You're the one who's crazy.
Yeah, so I don't go to the hospital that night. And then everyone's like, you should just get it checked. And anyways, I go, and guess what? Wasn't broken. And if I would have saw it and trusted it, I would have known. Anyways.
Now you're inspired.
Now I'm inspired. How to create tech products customers love. Oh, right up my alley. That happens all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I bought this book because I'm learning a lot about agile product management, because there's like, I have a bunch of ideas and then my team has a bunch of ideas, and then we all put them in this big thing called a backlog where all the ideas come together, and then we have the developers and we prioritize the ideas, and every day we're like organizing everything, and the developers can only do a certain amount of ideas per day. So it's in this big feedback loop and cycle, and yep, project management is like a newer thing for me. Anyway, so I bought these things. How to create tech products customers love. You got to be a master, right? I'm a creator. My job is to create. I think I'm done creating VSLs. Now I'm just creating badass fucking products.
Tech companies.
And tech companies. Here's another cool book called Die with Zero. Heard that one was gangster. Yep. Super dope. Getting all you can from your money and your life by Bill Perkins, who is a billionaire.
Here's my book, guys. I'll show you. The Magic Path of Intuition.
Yeah, I read half that yesterday.
Here we go. This is a good one.
This is Florence Shen. This is some legendary shit. This is a lost book they found after she passed away.
So this is about counting your blessings, because when you practice gratitude, it's telling your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind is like the computer system. So it has programs. And when you practice gratitude, you're telling your subconscious mind, you need to keep this program running. This is really important. You don't want this to go. I love this stuff so much. Faith must become a habit.
Yeah.
Huge takeaway.
And faith is just the feeling that something amazing is about to happen.
Oh, you could practice this. Today is the day of my amazing good fortune. She has an affirmation in here, I didn't even tell you this, that says, in the morning I'll know exactly what to do. And so 2 nights ago, I was saying that because I couldn't sleep. And I was like, in the morning I'll know exactly what to do. In the morning I'll know exactly what to do. And then in the morning, yesterday morning, I was thinking of an opportunity that like would get me out of the house. And then my dad was like, you should do like a podcast with athletes. And I worked with Sports Illustrated, so I know a ton. I was like, that's a good idea, Dad. Maybe I'll do that. And then I text my producer at Sports Illustrated. He's like, I love it. I'll help you produce it. And I was like, in the morning, I know exactly what to do.
I was thinking about that last night. It was pretty solid.
Well, because not everybody's going to resonate with this. But if it's like LeBron James talking about how he uses visualization, or Steph Curry, who's known to do it, or like Michael Jordan, who said, I spend as much time practicing in my mind gym as I do the physical gym, then you realize that every key athlete knows this and implements this and embodies this.
Yes.
And that's why they can stay in a high level of consciousness, a flow state.
Yes.
At a free throw. At a field goal.
Visualize and work your ass off.
Anyways, in the morning I'll know exactly what today. But today is the day of my good fortune.
All right. Something amazing about to happen.
Okay, love you.
10 minutes. Let's go work on the podcast, and then I'd shower and get to a meeting. Come on.
Bye.